15 August 2026, another Independence Day. But this time, let's ask ourselves a different question. What kind of India do we want to build by 2047? An India that is economically powerful, technologically advanced, socially inclusive, environmentally sustainable, and most importantly, an India where ordinary citizens can live with dignity, opportunity, and hope. India has the scale, the talent, and the ambition. But ambition alone is not enough. The next 2 decades will be about execution. Government must build the systems. Businesses must create opportunities. And citizens must become active participants. This is not just the government's India. This is our India. And this is the India we must build. India today is a country of enormous contrasts. We have world-class digital infrastructure, expanding highways, growing manufacturing capabilities, and one of the world's largest young populations. At the same time, we face serious challenges. Quality employment remains a concern. Education and industry don't always move together. Cities struggle with pollution, congestion, and affordable housing. Healthcare remains financially difficult for many families, and young Indians are asking increasingly difficult questions. Where are the good jobs? Are our exams fair? Will my education actually lead to a career? Can I afford a decent life? These questions shouldn't be seen as negativity. They are signals. Because a rising nation must not only celebrate its achievements, it must have the courage to identify what still needs fixing. India's greatest asset may not be its natural resources. It may be its young people. But today's Gen Z is looking at India differently. They don't simply want a degree, they want skills. They don't simply want a job, they want growth, financial stability, and meaningful work. They don't want technology to replace them. They want technology to empower them. They want transparency in examinations, better opportunities, better workplaces, and a voice in decisions that affect their future. So perhaps the question isn't, what will Gen Z do for India? The better question is, what kind of India are we preparing for Gen Z? If we give young Indians opportunity, skills, and trust, they can become the biggest force behind India's transformation. India's economic growth is important, but GDP alone cannot tell the complete story. The real question is growth creating enough productive, dignified employment? India needs millions of young people entering the workforce every year. That means we need more manufacturing, more MSMEs, more services, more tourism, more infrastructure, more exports, and more businesses capable of growing globally. Government can create the ecosystem. Industry must invest, hire, and train. And educational institutions must prepare students for actual work, not just examinations. Because the ultimate objective of economic growth should be simple: more productive jobs, better incomes, stronger families, a stronger economy. For decades, a degree has been treated as the ticket to a better life. But the world of work has changed. Today, a degree needs to be accompanied by capability. Students need practical skills, industry exposure, internships, communication skills, digital literacy, and increasingly, AI literacy. Our curriculum must evolve with the economy. Vocational education must receive dignity and opportunity. Colleges should work closely with industry, and students should have multiple pathways to success, because success should not depend on having one particular type of degree. The ideal graduate of tomorrow should have a degree, a skill, experience, digital capability, communication, and the ability to continuously learn. Education must lead to capability, and capability must lead to opportunity. Artificial intelligence may become one of the biggest forces shaping India's next 20 years. But India has a choice. We can simply become one of the world's largest users of AI, or we can become one of the world's leading creators of it. Imagine AI transforming healthcare through faster diagnosis, agriculture through smarter irrigation and crop intelligence, education through personalized learning, government through faster public services, manufacturing through automation and predictive maintenance, and Indian language AI making advanced technology accessible to millions. But AI adoption must go hand in hand with reskilling. The goal shouldn't be AI versus humans. It should be AI empowering humans. India must build talent, research, startups, semiconductor capabilities, and globally competitive technology. Because the ambition should be bigger than using the future. Roads can be built. Factories can be built. Technology can be imported. But the most valuable asset of any nation is its people. India's young population gives us an enormous opportunity. But a demographic advantage becomes an economic advantage only when people have education, skills, health, employment, entrepreneurship, and leadership opportunities. Women must also become full participants in India's economic growth. And healthcare must increasingly focus on prevention, accessibility, and affordability. Because a healthy, educated, and skilled population is not simply social progress. It is economic infrastructure. India's future will ultimately depend on how effectively we develop our people. India's infrastructure story has changed dramatically. Highways, metros, airports, digital networks, and modern urban infrastructure are transforming connectivity. But the next question is, can infrastructure improve everyday life? A world-class city isn't defined only by skyscrapers. It is defined by shorter commutes, reliable public transport, clean water, proper sanitation, affordable housing, efficient waste management, safe streets, reliable electricity, and clean air. The India of 2047 should not simply be more developed. It should be more livable. Because development is meaningful only when ordinary people can actually feel it in their daily lives. India's agricultural story cannot end at the farm gate. The bigger opportunity lies in adding value. Better irrigation, modern farming technology, cold chain infrastructure, food processing, packaging, branding, logistics, and global exports. Imagine an Indian farmer not simply selling a crop, but becoming part of a global value chain. The journey should become farm, processing, brand, export, global market. Technology can help farmers make better decisions. Infrastructure can reduce wastage. Processing can create rural employment. And strong global brands can create greater value. India's agricultural future should not only be about producing more, it should be about creating more value from what we produce. There is something even more fundamental than economic growth: trust. Citizens need to trust that examinations are fair. Businesses need confidence that rules are predictable. People need to know that corruption has consequences. Government services should be accessible and accountable. And justice must be timely and impartial. Technology can improve transparency. Strong systems can reduce opportunities for corruption. Independent and capable institutions can strengthen public confidence. Because when institutions work, citizens have confidence. Businesses invest. Innovation grows, and society moves forward. A strong economy needs strong institutions, and a strong nation needs both. We often ask, what should the government do? But there is another equally important question: what should we do? Pay taxes honestly, follow laws and traffic rules, don't litter, protect public property, save water and energy, reject misinformation, support entrepreneurship and local businesses, keep learning new skills, use technology responsibly, volunteer for your community, and vote thoughtfully while holding elected representatives accountable. Patriotism isn't simply waving a flag. Patriotism is also keeping the street clean, doing your work honestly, helping another citizen, and refusing to accept corruption and irresponsibility as normal. A better India begins with better citizens. So, what will it take to build the India of 2047? There is no single answer. We need a strong economy, quality jobs, world-class education, skilled and healthy citizens, greater participation of women, artificial intelligence and innovation, manufacturing and global competitiveness, world-class infrastructure, sustainable agriculture, a cleaner environment, strong institutions, and responsible citizens. But above all, we need trust. Trust between citizens and institutions. Trust between government and businesses. Trust that hard work will be rewarded. Trust that opportunity will be fair. India does not need to become a copy of another developed nation. India needs to build its own model of development. A country where every child can dream, every young person can build, every woman can participate, every entrepreneur can create, every farmer can prosper, and every citizen can live with dignity. 15 August 2047 will mark 100 years of India's independence. The question is not whether India has the potential. It does. The question is what we do with that potential over the next 2 decades. Because the India of 2047 isn't something that will simply happen. It is something we must build together. If you believe in the India we can build together, like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with others, and follow us for more inspiring stories and ideas. Together, let's build a stronger India.